Welcome to our channel. I am Pam and I will try to take you around the world. Today we have this goal, to visit Paris in one day. It is very difficult to describe the romantic charm of walking through the streets of Paris, and to summarize in one video all that the French capital offers between culture, unique attractions, and delicious food, but I will try, as always, by briefly introducing you to the main must-see places. The story begins with the Eiffel Tower, the symbol of Paris. Inaugurated in 1889, on the occasion of the 10th Universal Exposition. It is a gigantic tower, which in the original plan was later to be dismantled. Instead, at 300 meters high we still find it as an icon of the city, capable of attracting millions of visitors each year. The Louvre, the most important museum in Paris, was once home to French royalty, and is now among the most visited monuments in the world. The museum's halls are accessed through the iconic glass pyramid that leads to the galleries, where more than 35,000 works are now housed, including Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, Veronese's immense painting of the wedding at Cana, the fresco of the Lady with Venus, and Botticelli's Graces. One of the most beautiful parks in Paris, located near the Louvre, is the Jardin des Tuileries, designed by landscape architect André Le Nôtre, a classic example of 18th-century French-style gardens. That is, furnished with benches, statues, and very well-maintained paths. An elegant place where both tourists and Parisians like to pause to read a book or simply enjoy a moment of quiet and relaxation. The Basilica of the Sacred Heart, located on the hill of Montmartre, is definitely one of the landmarks of the city of Paris. It is characterized by an alabaster facade. Inside, a majestic mosaic can be admired on the ceiling, while outside, the whole city from above. The Basilica is the symbol of the Montmartre district, a place full of art galleries, bistros, and historic cafes, once frequented by great artists such as Lautrec, Degas, and Renoir. Notre Dame Cathedral, located in the heart of the capital next to the Ile de la Cité, is a monument of extraordinary artistic and historical value, and of course the most important place of Catholic worship in all of Paris. The Arc de Triomphe was erected in 1806 by Napoleon, in honor of the victory of Austerlitz. Inspired by the arches of antiquity, is 50 meters high, 45 meters wide. This monument is located at the beginning of Rue Champs-Élysées, houses the tomb of the unknown soldier, and has engraved on it the names of more than 600 French generals and major figures of the French Revolution. The Palace of Versailles is a magnificent and majestic royal residence located about 20 kilometers from Paris, strongly desired by Louis XIV. Definitely worth admiring is the large park that surrounds it, with its many gardens, listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. The Musée d'Orsay is definitely worth a visit for the large number of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist works of art. Among the many works it welcomes, including paintings, prints, drawings, and sculptures you can admire, the paintings of Vincent van Gogh, Paul Cézanne, Claude Monet, Degas, Renoir, and Manet. In Place de la Concorde, not to be missed, is the Musée de l'Orangerie, which houses numerous paintings by Renoir, Paul Cézanne, Pablo Picasso, and Claude Monet. The Hôtel National des Invalides, known as Les Invalides, is a vast architectural complex, one of the most impressive in Paris, consisting of a series of buildings of French Baroque classicism. It was built to house and care for war invalids at the initiative of Louis XIV. Les Invalides is a masterpiece of 17th-century French architecture, about 200 meters long. Within the complex, we also find Le Musée de l'Armée, among the world's greatest museums of art and military history, which preserves weapons, ancient armor, and war documents from all over the world. In addition to the museum, we find L'Église du Dôme. which houses in a circular-shaped crypt the tomb of Napoleon Bonaparte. In the heart of Paris stands the unmistakable Pompidou Center, a place where art, culture, creativity, and nonconformism meet. The name comes from President Georges Pompidou, who in the late 1960s, wanted to give the French capital a cultural center dedicated to contemporary artistic production. There we find the largest collection of modern and contemporary art in Europe, but not only. The building houses a library, bookstores, cinemas, and no shortage of spaces for cultural activities. The palace was built in the 1970s to a joint design by Italian architect Renzo Piano and English architect Richard Rogers. The royal palace was built around 1630 by architect Jacques Lemercier. It is one of the most important historic buildings in Paris. The palace is located opposite the Louvre Museum. It was built at the behest of Cardinal Richelieu. Upon the cardinal's death, the royal family took possession of it. It then became the residence of the Dukes of Orleans, who over time enriched it with a columned portico and galleries to house workshops and stores. Now the palace is home to the Council of State and the Constitutional Council. Place de Vosges was built at the behest of Henry IV. Place de Vosges is an enchanting place formed by a central garden and arcades bordering the area. It houses antique stores, art galleries, and cafes. Thank you for your time. If you enjoyed our content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos.